doing its thing.
Okay, it says it is being live streamed. And did you record too?
I haven't started recording yet.
Being live streamed.
All
Did you
right.
record too?
I haven't started recording yet. So that's so weird because it's a delay. So I'm hearing
Mm-hmm.
our conversation that we just had. And muted over there. Okay. I am hitting record.
Perfect. All right. Good evening. Welcome to the Garden Hills Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I'm pleased to call this meeting of the Garden Hills Go Team to order at the time of 5:07 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. Miss Hill, will you now take the roll?
Yes. Dr. Dante Edwards,
Present.
Jean Moore,
Present.
Jocelyn Kennedy,
Present.
Fiona Grant,
No.
Elizabeth Mayers,
Present.
Heath Willoughby,
Present.
Tommy Hope,
Present.
John Kobich,
Present.
and Katie Carlson. Okay.
This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Is there a quorum present? Yes.
Yes.
All right. We will proceed to our first action item, which is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here. Oh, do we need to start sharing that slideshow?
Yes, I'm doing it right now. You see the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
And is it in slideshow view right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right. So the agenda is provided here. Are there any changes to the agenda? If there are no changes, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve.
May I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. All right. All opposed, say nay or raise your hand. And any abstentions, please say abstain. All right, the agenda has been approved. We will approve our minutes from the last meeting. Our minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections that need to be made? If there are no corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I motion to approve.
May I have a second?
I
I
second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, looks like everyone approved. And there are no nays or abstentions. All right, we will now move to our discussion item then.
All right, everybody. The main work that we've been doing. First of all, good evening, everyone. The main work that we've been doing is, trying to set up in stages, getting ready for our strategic plan, which will ultimately help guide the budget process that picks up in January. And so we've been going along this process. So this is the purpose, to make sure that each school in our school strategic plan is aligned with the district's overall strategic plan, to make sure everything is in alignment. And so here you have Atlanta Public Schools strategic plan, and notice how you have the 6 goals. That's the big writing. Those are our goals, and then underneath there, those are the objectives. So the work that we're going to be doing is setting up our objectives to match our goals in the same way that the district has met the written its goals to met each of their objectives, right? And so we went through some of the process last meeting to work with that mission and vision and making sure everything works in alignment. So we are, actually doing what we said we're going to do. So this is our planning overview that we've been going through this entire process. And now we're here at business meeting number 3 in order to identify our strategic objectives. So what we've been doing in the last couple of meetings, we looked at our KPI, our school data. We made sure that our mission and vision aligned to that. And then we're going to now confirm, and we started working on our goals. It was the request that we have some preliminary goals that we put in place. At the time, the CCRPI data was embargoed. It is not embargoed now, so it is on the Godot website if anybody wants to go and look at it for themselves. But we will go over it as a Go team this evening to dig into the numbers. The way that the agenda is kind of set up, the CCRPI component is kind of later. So if we want to kind of blend the two, then I'm okay with that, to make sure that the numbers work in alignment. And so when we did our work back in October, we did some wordsmithing of our mission and vision to kind of clean it up. And this is our final product. And then this is where, like I mentioned earlier, this is where we started our work last time. After looking at our KPIs, we ended up with these goals, specifically with our subgroups. And then that was the question, okay, well, this is really based on 2-year-old data from 2024. What will we look like for 2025? So with this team's permission, I can come out of this and go to our CCRPI.
Yeah, I think that would be a good
We'll
idea.
look at that. Okay. So stop sharing. So I'm going to go directly from the website. So this is our landing page. Once you go to the Godot CCRPI, right up here in the toolbar, you can just kind of search any school that you like. So I just put in Garden Hills Elementary, and then here you see the 4 buckets in which our data is is really combined. One thing, it's unclear because different reports are saying different things if they're going to have an overall score this year. Last year we had an overall score. I can go back and look at it. You can look at it right now. Our overall score was 76.5 last year. So it's unclear if they're going to have the overall score this year. Also, we had a school climate rating, which is the star rating, and it goes out of 5. And last year we were at a 2. And so when we look at our goals, we talked about increasing from 2 to 3. So we're kind of waiting on that last piece for this year's data, if that data is going to come up. So in the big overall scheme of things, when you scroll down, it kind of tells us where we landed, and the number is our current score, and then the arrow tells us in comparison to last year. So here in content mastery was a decrease, progress was an increase, readiness was an increase, and closing the gap was the same. So that's how you would read this overall page. But as you go deeper into the area, yes, we decrease, true, but by 1 point, right? So that's why you have to kind of look at different things to kind of get a sense of where we really landed. And so this number comes from taking these 3 numbers, add them up, divided by 3, and then that's how you get to 67.3.
Dr. Edwards, I
Excuse
think
me.
Ms. Carlson's in the waiting room.
She is. I just saw that. Thanks, sir. And so you see that we did really well with our science. Our math kind of stayed the same, and our language arts took the biggest dip of the 3 categories. So that's an opportunity for us when we look into it. And so down here, just as an FYI, in elementary, these scores are based on grades 3 through 5, and the state does not tier them. They don't tease them out for 3rd, 4th, or 5th. It's just 3 through 5. How many of them are proficient? So the work that we do behind the scenes is looking at, well, how well do our third graders do? They are now 4th graders. How well do our 4th graders do now that our 5th graders? So that we can kind of set some internal measures to look at what we need to do in order to increase. So that's our growth this year in comparison to last year, really looking at those population and those numbers. So this is like the percentage breakdown. This is useful. It definitely is useful because you can just see out of 100 where we stand in terms of where each subgroup lands in the distinguished, proficient, development, and beginning. One thing that kind of makes it look a little cleaner is this view. And so each year you get a target, and if you meet that target, you get a red flag. If you don't, you get if you don't meet the target, you get a red flag. You meet the target, you get a green flag. But in certain groups, like economic disadvantage, special students with disability, EL, these populations out here, you actually can get a green flag with a star. So how these flags rank comes into scores. So you get 0 points for a red flag, a half a point for a yellow flag, actually a yellow flag, but we didn't get any yellows, a full point for the green flag, and a 1.5 for flags with stars. So then that's true for mathematics. This is math. And then this is science. One thing that jumps out that you'll notice is that when you go from ELA and math to science, some of the flags disappears. So then that is because it's too few of that subgroup to count. I believe that magic number is 15. So let's go back to what we talked about earlier in terms of, that they lump it 3 through 5, right? But science was just 5th grade. So did we have 15 students with disability in 5th grade to take the test? That answer is no. But when you look at 3 through 5, did we have enough to make a subgroup? That answer is yes. So when you're looking at it, that's why some of the subgroups have flags and some don't. So then that's really gets us to here, where it's all kind of laid out. So that's how you get this number. When we talked about the zeros and the 0.5s and the ones, if you attribute a number to each one of these flags, divided by however many flags that we have, that's how we get the 63.2, if that makes sense. All right. And then that is closing the gap number. And then for our readiness, that was an increase. But this is like, so when you think about test scores, content mastery, progress, and closing the gap, all of those are based on test scores. Readiness is the other stuff that kind of falls into it, like attendance, reading at above grade level, behavior, things of that nature. All that stuff falls into the readiness category, and it kind of rounds out, the rest of, how you look at a school. One data point that's really positive right now in comparison to last year is our student attendance. Last year, we did increase from the year before. We went from 81 to 82. Right now, we're looking good. We're hovering at 90 right now for our student attendance. So that is good, kid. And the theory is the more you come to class, the more that you learn, you should do better on these assessments. So there are a lot of good things that's going on. So CCRPI can be a lot. And then when you start digging in, you start clicking, it kind of goes down a rabbit hole. Any questions that the team may have about CCRPI? Oh, by the way, in terms of progress, we were ranked as a top five in the district in terms of our growth for progress. So that was outstanding. And then I'm going to invite someone from the data team, the APS data team, to come out to the faculty meeting tomorrow to work with the teachers to, really dig into these numbers even more. So that was outstanding for Garden Hills. That was some part of my shout out, but it was relevant now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Any questions about CCRPI?
I have a question about how do we determine which students are economically disadvantaged if we don't do the free and reduced lunch form anymore?
That is a good question. I think that's why when you look at it, notice how the students with disability, every time you have a subgroup here, it kind of matches the subgroup up there. I don't think they're taking out the economically disadvantaged, to be honest with you. Because we don't do the what does it used to be called, Katie?
Well, the free and reduced
We used to do a
lunch
free reduced
form,
lunch.
is it just because we're Title I, maybe everybody's economically disadvantaged?
I don't think so. I almost want to say, as a parent, you still have to fill out the form, maybe? Even though we all get it. We at least did last year. I can't remember this year.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. We did do it last year, just not this year. So that's probably
Yeah.
it.
So, yeah, maybe the data is good for
I think
X
you're
amount
right.
of years.
And this is for last year's scores too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Because it also just going back to that, they have to keep it relevant to give us our Title I status anyway. So they must be pulling the data from something.
from somewhere. Yeah.
On the
Whether it's what we, oh, sorry, Mr. Willoughby, whether it's what us parents fill out during like re-registration and stuff too, it might be.
on the CCRPI page there, on the overview, it says our school demographic economically disadvantaged is 100%.
Mm.
So
So that would be everybody.
yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Guys, I'm going to play around with my sound. My sound is terrible. Gene, can you say something?
Yes. Can
All
you
right,
hear
I was
us?
trying to make it louder, but it is. I'm struggling to hear y'all when you speak.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
I
can
don't
hear
know.
you fine.
Okay. Well, then we'll keep pushing. Thanks, Mr. Willoughby, for that information. Any other questions? So I'm going to kind of slide that over to the side and then go back to where we were with our presentation. To try to figure out if these numbers are now relevant. So the percentage of proficient and above learners on our GMAS increased 5% overall from 43. So last year, our ELA,
From proficient was about
it was 43.
44.
So we did 43 in 2020. Oh, did I update? We did 43 in 2020. Oh, this came from our KPI when we did our work last year, last
Mhm.
time. So 43 to 48. Our subgroup will increase 5 from 45. But 13, 45. Yep. 45 to 50. And SWD will increase 5% from 20. So all this is correct with our current CCI RPI numbers. All right.
Yeah.
And then with math, let's see here, that is correct for math. I'm going to round up.
Was there a reason we didn't put English language learners in this um, goals? Because our English language learners are really the ones not in distinguished at all.
We want to go, are we looking at ELA or both? ELA and math?
Um, both. I mean, in English language arts, we have 0 in distinguished, and we only have 20% or 21% in proficient. Can we
Yeah,
add
our
them as a
EL numbers,
subgroup?
it's like our EL numbers and our SWD numbers for ELA and math look about the same. So do we feel we want to add that as a subgroup to make sure that we're hitting that goal?
Yes, I do.
Yes, okay. Oh, this is comma. This is ELA, where we
Yeah.
got 22.
Yep.
Oh, I lost my cursor.
And I mean, this is nitpicky, but can we, instead of saying just by 5%, can we write at least 5%?
Okay.
Just to shoot for the moon?
What in the world?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, and I mean, we can go back and add at least after the fact too.
Is that right?
Yes.
And then for math, we want to add our EL.
That would be 22% from what I'm reading. So actually the
Oh,
same.
it'll still be 22?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be the same data point.
Same data. Okay. And then that looks good. All right. And then down here with the attendance, we have our CART meetings every other week now, so we're definitely tracking that. So I think the idea of at least still holds true. We want to
Mhm.
at least get the 86, but definitely landing at the 90 would be awesome.
Besides, like the attendance parties, what other things have you been doing to increase it so much since it has been so successful?
Well, that's a big one because they love that 12 minutes of, of
Mhm.
fun. They love that one. But I think it's also just being more communicative with the families.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't know that they're missing, so many days. So we have a workbook that Atlanta Public School provides for us where we can track the kids that's approaching that 10-day or people who, if they miss one more day, they will fall off. And so we were very strategic about calling those families and say, hey, I need you to come for the next 3 days. And if you come the next 3 days, and there's some incentives for that. And I think also the restructuring of how we do the NBA jams. In the previous way, it was more like for perfect attendance.
Mhm.
So, as you missed a day, the crowd would just get smaller and smaller. Now it's like a redemption thing every month. Like, how can you, get better this month, even if you wasn't, good last month? So there's always an opportunity for people to, participate. It's kind of like just changing the mindset a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. That's awesome that you've done so well.
And then I think we can leave the climate, the stars pretty much the same right now, since we don't know if we actually did a 3 last year. So we can
Mhm.
make that adjustment as we get to more data. Okay, you feel good with that?
Yes. Does anyone else have any thoughts or questions?
All right. So we have our goals. So now that we have our goals, our next thing for this business meeting is to create our objectives. So in comparison to the previous strategic plan verbiage, that was we used the word priorities. So last strategic plan verbiage of priorities is this strategic plan objectives. And so that's where we're going to go from now. So this is our strategic plan, current one. And so you see how we're trying to get this to look like the APS strategic plan that we showed earlier. That's our goal. So what we're going to do is look at these priorities, figure out which one of these priorities we want to stop, continue, and then which ones we need to add to make them our objectives. So if there's anything in this bucket right here that we want to stop, we're just going to delete it, keep it moving. If there's anything that we want to keep, it's going to roll over to our next plan. And then we just got to figure out where we need to place it under which goal. All right. So it is kind of small. Do you think maybe better if I do the slideshow?
Mhm.
So when we look at our 8 priorities, are there any priorities that we're like, that is no longer relevant as we move forward to 2023? I'm just giving it time to look through it. So remember, we're going to go through the process of stop, continue, and then add. Right now, of the 8 priorities, does anyone feel that there's something that we should stop of these 8? Just stop.
I don't necessarily think there's any that need to be stopped unless people have ideas of things that need to be added, then we would need
Mhm.
to.
Okay.
Um,
So we like our priorities. That means the previous Go teams did a pretty good job of coming up with stuff. So we're just going to keep that rolling. So we like our priorities,
does anyone
and
else have
therefore,
any question or comments on the priorities? Okay.
so without stopping, what that essentially means, we're going to continue with all these, which means the next question is, can you think of anything that we need to start? Especially when you think about our 6 goals of our strength is our team, our responsibility is shared, our system is efficient and effective, strengthen our structural core, every child,
What about
sparking
something
curiosity.
with vertical planning? Maybe
Okay.
we could do more vertical planning across grade levels.
Strengthening. Will that will that fall under?
Maybe
Oh,
responsibility
oh,
is
hold on, hold on. I may have
shared.
did something a little too fast. Hold on. I think what we have to do now is take these 8 and then put them under the right bucket now. And
And then
then once
see
we
if
do that,
there's,
then we'll add. And but I definitely heard you, Kate, about the vertical planning. Okay, so now we have to take our 8 and figure out where it will fall under the 6 goals. So these priorities are about to become our objectives. So our number 1 priority, and then maybe it'll probably be better if I come out. And you only really need like 1 or 2. We don't want to have too many objectives. That's the goal. So we want to have at least 1 per goal. So when we say offer students relevant instruction that supports comprehension and communication in all core content areas, I think that goes under strengthening our instructional core.
right.
Yep.
Yes, I agree.
So for sake of time, I'm just going to put priority number 1, and then
Yep.
I'll go back and fix it. Promote inquiry-based collaborative learning experiences that allow for inclusion of all students, gifted, special needs, general education, and language learners.
I think sparking student curiosity.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
You like that one? Provide services to address the social, emotional, mental, and behavior well-being of all students and families, including bilingual services.
Caring for every child.
Mhm.
Provide personalized services in reading and math to target groups of students based on needs.
The instructional core.
Or yeah.
Extend opportunities for outstanding staff to stay at Garden Hills and expand their reach through additional leadership roles. I
Our
think
school
that's
is
a strength of our
efficient,
team
or
or
our
shared.
school is efficient and effective.
Definitely somewhere over here now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's strengthening our team.
I would say the team.
Efficient and effective is saying about facility usage and
Oh,
financial
okay.
usage.
Okay. Strengthening the implementation of core instruction, signature programming, and personalized learning.
Would it be student curiosity? Sparking student curiosity.
Especially with that IB statement in there. Extend focus on biliteracy, bilingualism, social cultural competence, and high academic achievement in Spanish and English through dual language immersion and traditional pathways with world language.
I think that's instructional core also.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 7? 7.
Yes.
And then address issues of bias, attendance, equity, expectations, and family engagement to ensure culturally responsive experiences.
Shared responsibility is shared.
Yeah.
All right. So now we will look at this and see where we're lacking and what else we need to add. So now, Katie, you talked about increasing. I'm letting Cameron Robinson in. He's going to join us when we talk about HVAC. So he's coming in right now. That's from the district. Welcome, Cameron. We're almost to you. Just hold tight for a second. So, Katie, when you talked about
Vertical alignment.
vertical alignment, where would that fall for you?
Well, we have a lot already in strengthening our instructional core, so should we make something in a different?
I mean, would
Yeah,
it
I
work in
think-
strength in our team? Because working as a team to
True.
align all the curriculum and make sure that there's no gaps in the instruction.
So APS for theirs for team, Atlanta students will have effective and engaged teachers, leaders, and staff. Increased concentration of effective teachers and leaders. I think that'll fit well there. But it talks more so in that one, really feeding into the teachers, increased concentration of highly effective teachers. Well, I guess through vertical alignment, you will be highly effective, right? Because you'll know what they need to know before and what you're preparing them for.
Or even responsibility is shared, sort of like fifth grade's the only grade that gets tested in science, but we all need to teach science.
Oh, I like it. I like it right there for that reason. And by the time we come back, I'll wordsmith something. And by our school is efficient and effective.
What did you
Get
say,
this
Mr.
HVAC
Willoughby,
done.
that consisted of? Yeah.
It says Atlanta students will have the schools and resources they need to succeed. It talks about maximizing facility usage, leveraging data to drive strategic financial investments and implement sustainable initiatives.
I think we can do something with the leveraging data, like just making, just making sound decisions. That's our work right here. Is just
Right.
making sure that our strategic plan and our budget are tightly aligned.
Mm-hmm. Based on the data.
We like this? All right. All right. I think we kind of bounced around a little bit, but the gist of our work is done. This is basically where we took our objectives, we aligned it to our goals, and then we added anything that we needed to do to round out our new strategic plan. And then our next thing is when we come together in January, I believe, is our next meeting. We're going to vote on a strategic plan to say that this is what we're going to go for the next 5 years. We'll rank our objectives, and then we'll begin our discussion on the budget. Depending on the date of the GOTEE meeting and when they release the budget, if I already have it, we'll jump straight into it. If not, we'll kind of, think kind of big picture first, and then we'll dig into the numbers in February. But it is budget season for sure, for sure. All right. Any questions from anybody? Great job, everybody. And so we go into the information items. So we did CCRPI earlier, which is part of our work. Any additional questions or wonderings that we have for CCRPI? All right. And then some HVAC updates. So I do want to introduce Cameron Robinson. I want to start
Um,
sharing.
hey,
So
good
you go
evening,
ahead and introduce
guys.
yourself. Mhm.
How you guys doing? I know some of you and some I see some new faces. It's nice to meet you guys for those who I haven't met, and it's a pleasure to see you again for those who I have met. I think it was the last community update for some of you guys the last time we spoke. So from the CIP Capital Improvement Team with APS, we appreciate you working with us during this process. We know that we have kind of inconvenienced you in some way, but we appreciate you guys just being flexible as we facilitate this project for you guys. And thank you again as well, Dr. Edwards, and helping us facilitate the renovation that we have. Or the HVAC improvements project that we have going on with you guys. We hope to leave you guys in a better place, and we know that this is geared towards a HVAC upgrade. We also hope to just do as much as we can while we're there, so that you guys can feel like you have a new space. And just the purpose of this meeting is just kind of give you an update moving forward for the next upcoming holiday break that we have scheduled with you guys. Christmas break, the last break that we had over fall, Thanksgiving, we got in a little earlier
Do
than.
you want me to pull up the maps,
Oh yeah,
Cameron?
let me share this. Can I share? I just requested access to share, Dr. Edwards.
You should have it now.
I have it. Okay. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
No, sir.
Not yet. Okay. How about now?
It's yeah, you're good.
Okay. Cool. So we got into the spaces a little earlier than we had originally scheduled, the schedule that went out and everybody. And the purpose of that is to try to gain as much time as we can, because it's kind of like a moving target when you're dealing with so many entities, such as the city of Atlanta. When we go into spaces and we have to get them inspected. We're at really their mercy when they come in and give us certain approvals. So we try to get ahead as much as we can so that our shortest schedule would essentially be in the summer. That way, we get ahead of any potential delays or issues because everybody's kind of running around with their like chickens with their head cut off during the summer, just trying to make sure we meet, that day one expectation. So jumping into this, we have what, our next kind of upcoming activities. And this is like a phase plan similar to what we showed in our community meeting. So we're currently in area F, which is the gym. So we got in there around the 6th, and we plan on being done in there January the 4th. And the activities we have going on right there is just essentially we're changing out all the ceiling grid throughout. And what we would like to do, so when we have to change out the VRF system that's primarily in the ceilings in each space, once we finish an area, we want to come back then, since we already pretty much messed up the ceiling grid and we've taken out lights. We want to then change out the lights, and we want to update the ceiling grid, because that's like the perfect opportunity. We don't have to go up there anymore. So we want to go ahead and touch that then. Ceiling grid and ceiling tile was originally not in the project scope, but that's just like one of the things that we're doing there. It just, if it makes sense for us to do it, then we're going to go ahead and do it while we can and while we have the budget to do so. And right now, we're looking really good on our budget. We haven't run into a lot of unforeseen items, so we're going to try to do some extra things there, that that hadn't been done over the past few years or so, if we can, such as some additional things we're doing. We know that there's bad access around the building, to the roof, and there's really no easy way to get up there. So one thing we're doing is adding access ladders, and we're gonna modify some entrances, on the second level so that it's easier to maintain the new RTU units that we're putting on the roof. So I'll just go ahead and just quickly, I know we're all kind of ready to start our days, so I'm just gonna just, if you have any questions, just feel free to stop me. So after area F, we're gonna be moving on to area B, which is, I believe, is your admin hall. We're upgrading. We thought we were just going to come in at one time and upgrade all the LED lights, but again, we kind of rethought that a little bit. We only want to touch the ceiling one time, and so we're upgrading the lights in that area around this time. The new units that we're putting in the ceiling, won't fit, so we have to upgrade these lights, sooner than later, because the new LED flat panels, they're a much smaller fixture than what's currently installed there. So we'll be in that area, or actually, my apologies. I said that's February, so it looks like we moved
Right,
that.
yeah, this area right here, that's when you guys are going to come in February during the
Winter break.
winter break, and do a lot of the major work.
Hmm.
Um, but it's going to continue until mid March.
Okay.
Um, so while school is happening, so what's going to happen? We know that this hallway is very important to us. That's how everybody gets back and forth to the cafeteria. So
Hmm.
that week that we're off, the contractor is going to work really hard to kind of rip this whole thing up and then close it up so that during the day it looks like the normal hallway with
Yeah.
all of these doors will be closed at that point, and then they're going to be working in the rooms inside, running all this stuff and changing out lights and things of that nature. And one creative thing that they were able to do is that in this hallway there are a couple of large rooms.
Hmm.
So one room on the left currently where the social worker is, and one room on the right currently where the counselor is. Those rooms are going to be split. They're going to put a wall right down the middle, and then that's going to create some more space. So there are some people on campus who are like sharing offices and hiding little nooks and crannies. Then that'll provide more space for them, really, because if you look at the backside where it says counselor 139 up here,
Hmm.
that's where our MTSS person, Miss um, Gray, where she's housed. And so that's actually going to become the what is that going to become? The maintenance room.
Right.
Yeah, so that's because of that space that he talked about, how there's not a lot of room in the
In the
ceiling.
ceiling. Right.
One office is now going to become a mechanical room. So we had to relocate her and then gain another space. So and I remember when I first got on campus in July, this was the space that was vexing them the most. And so the engineers and architects have really worked with a solid solution for this space. So this is going to start the winter break, but it will continue. One thing that was very important to me when working with Cameron and the contractors is to make sure that during the school day, this area looks and can operate like a school. And so that first week while we're gone is when they're going to go in there, create some doors, do all that other kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
then shut it down so that a lot of their work after that is going to take place after hours and on weekends and things of that nature so that we can maintain that hallway.
Yes. And thank you for that. I just got a little bit ahead of myself.
No worries.
But yeah, so we're going to be creating some additional entrances along that hallway as well, so that it makes it look like, an office and not an afterthought. And we don't want to disturb you guys. We don't want to impact you. So we're going to be cleaning up like daily, as you guys know, while we're there. So it doesn't look like a construction site. So the area I meant to talk about was area C and area D. These areas of focus. So the dining area, we'll be doing the retrofit for the LEDs. So we'll be doing the ceiling tile installation as well. And we plan to be out of there when we come back from school after the Christmas break, and as well as
Area D.
D and area C as well in the dining 102.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at area C, that's just where the cafeteria tables are, where we actually, eat. The other half behind the wall, where the kitchen is, that's definitely a summer because that's a major
Right.
undertaking with the vent and all those other things that's in the kitchen area, especially with the classes being above it. So yeah, you did. We did agree that we're going to do all the dining area and D during winter break.
Yes. And one thing in area D that we're looking at that we haven't ironed out all the details yet is, along with that work, and this will probably happen at spring break in the media center. We would like to not only repaint the media center but add some type of graphic detail in there, some touch. But we're still working on with you guys to kind of figure out what that would be.
Yeah, so they're going to paint and get new furniture and get new shelving for the media center
Hmm.
for during spring break. Um, but that week isn't enough. They're
Right.
going to need 3 extra days in 3 extra days after spring break inside the media center to finish that up. But fortunately, if you don't know, the media center is one of our specials every other week. That just so happens the week after spring break is not one of our specials. But it was important for us for the kids to still have access to books because literacy is a big thing on our campus. So Miss Rice, the media specialist, is gonna kind of work out the atrium for those 3 days because she can still go into the media center and access books, but just not the kids. And so the kids will still have access to it, but the media center will be shut down for 3 days after spring break while they finish the painting and installing the shelving is going to be on wheels, so we could figure the media center as needed for whatever events that we have. So looking forward to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And going to level 2, we'll be working in areas B, the second level, the auditorium as well, doing same thing, ceiling tile change out, and the LED lighting install as well. Over the
But that room already got its AC unit over that last break, correct?
Correct. But now, since we just approved the change order for the ceiling
Okay,
tile and ceiling grid, so that's why they didn't take the opportunity to install it then. But
okay,
now, since it is in scope, we're going to go ahead and change that out during that time
perfect.
as well. And then if we get all this done, I mean, I should say when we get all this done, we'll only have to worry about the summer activities, and we'll be over all of the critical activities essentially. It'll be a smooth sailing summer is what we hope. And then we'll be out of your hair summer of 2026. And you'll
And
got
I just and we not only did they do the AC for the auditorium area on the second floor, the media center got its unit as well
yeah. And we've
over
also
last break.
we
So a lot
also
of things that have been going on through the year. I think the whole goal what Cameron and his team is trying to do is as much stuff we can get done during the year.
yeah.
We won't be worried, freaking out the Sunday before teachers come back to see if
Right.
we're going to be unpacking boxes.
And one of the biggest things we've gotten completed was changing out the switch gear and getting the the school re-energized. A lot of times when you change out something as critical as that system, especially over the summer and we start to cut things back on, it, things just stop working. So that was really a big hurdle there, getting that changed out and getting the transformer changed out as well. So we've made a lot of progress. Again, we got a really good outfit doing this project in Max Air. They specialize in these occupied type projects, and we really got the best team on the job for this. And we're really working with the best school as well because you guys have really been helpful throughout this whole process, and we appreciate it.
Team, any questions for Cameron while he's here?
No, thank you very much.
Any concerns that you're kind of thinking about that you're like, oh, but what about? But what about?
I do not have a concern, but I do have a compliment to tell to Max Air if you have the chance that as a teacher in the school, you would not know that they had ever been in our school at any point, at any time, just because they do such a good job of like picking up behind themselves, making sure
Yeah.
everything's working, cleaning, all of that. So
I will definitely pass that on, and I'm sure they would appreciate it. And yeah, they're really good. A lot of contractors, you have to remind them that they have to do that, that this is a school. But again, they work with us a lot, Atlanta Public Schools, so they kind of know the drill. And again, we appreciate you guys, and I'll be sure to relay that compliment to them.
And so if you scroll up real quick, Cameron, then we're going to go ahead and kind of wrap up the was it area D that is taking place over Christmas break. Packing, they don't have to pack, is my understanding for that area. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Gotcha. So it's
Yeah.
just a different kind of unit setup versus the front side of the building where they had to do all that packing and stuff. But they'll
Yeah.
be you'll be able to go in and handle your business. Okay, that's right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's going to be all in the ceiling mostly, and it's not going to be impactful. They don't have to move their furniture around or anything like that. So,
Okay.
um, we should be good to go there.
I do have a question. Sorry. What about the media center when it's done? Do we have to do we don't have to do anything in the media center, packing any books or anything up?
I think the
Yes, they
media,
do have to pack.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And what
Not
about
not not for the upgrade of the media of the AC. The
right. But
AC
for
is already done.
the painting and everything that we're going to have to do in there, we're going to have to pack up, and I believe Sherry's coordinating that with
Yeah.
the media center specialist just to make sure we give you guys advance notice on when we need to start that process. And I believe it
Uh,
was like a week before spring break is when we need
mhm.
to start that
That's
packing.
correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
So because they wanted to make sure that the media specialist is there to kind of lead the operation. So she'll work with the APS movers. You'll hear the name Sherry thrown out a lot. She's been doing this for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
I think I first worked with her, I don't know, 15 years ago when we did Maze. So she
Mhm.
definitely knows what she's doing. So we're gonna work with Miss Rice while she's still here to coordinate the packing and then get everything situated. Then they're going to come in during spring break with the paint, new furniture, new shelving, and then we'll move right back in and do all that unpacking.
Yes, sir.
and what about the music room? Does it have to be packed up also? I'm just thinking about this was going to be the fourth time we packed up the media center in 2 years. And like I just want to
Oh
make sure
wow.
all on the we all
The
know what's coming.
and the music room, help remind me where that's on the second level or the basement level,
Area B.
B.
area B.
It's the auditorium.
That's where we housed
Okay.
everything when we did the
Um,
first.
yeah, yeah. I'm for this phase, no. Yeah, so no, I don't think you have to pack up anything in there since we'll be in the ceiling. But let me double check that just to confirm. But
That area already has its new unit.
right. So I don't think we will have to do a big move or pack up or anything.
I
And
just know the big request was there are some things that's hanging on the wall,
yeah,
and the request is definitely to remove
sure.
those things.
Get rid of them, right?
That would be the win of the century if you go ahead and you did dispose of those things.
I think I got some space on my walls at my house. I think.
Have at it, sir. Have at it.
But yeah, we'll definitely get rid of that and anything that you guys would like to have removed and taken away, just let us know and we'll get.
Cameron, did those restrooms get done in what is that D over the break? They said they was going to put some epoxy.
Oh no, no. So we're looking at, so we talked about, I think the only restrooms right now where we're currently, because that's how we kind of got the ceiling tiles and we're
Uh-huh.
replacing all the blinds as well throughout the school, getting rid of those cords and because they're a choke hazard and some of those blinds don't even work. So we're replacing all the blinds throughout the school and of course the ceiling tile. So we were trading some of that um, because we walked to school and realized that some of the tile in the bathrooms are actually in really good shape. So
Okay.
it wouldn't make sense to just put epoxy over that. But we are still doing the epoxy in the restrooms outside the media center
Okay.
because those restrooms were really not in as good shape as the other restrooms around um
Okay.
the school. So that's going to be those restrooms are going to be a complete redo. We're upgrading the fixtures in there, the partitions, and we're doing epoxy floors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Um, and team, that was essentially the last piece of my principal report. And then the next piece, Cameron, if you can stop sharing.
Yep.
And
Thank
actually,
you,
unless you
Cameron.
just want to hang around and listen
Thank
to
you
some
guys.
cluster advisory team updates,
Nope.
you're good to go, sir. I appreciate you.
All right, guys. Thank you again.
Thanks, sir.
Bye.
Let me find out which window I was just working with. And yep, cluster advisory team report.
We see the CCRPI.
Yeah.
Oh, you still see this?
Mm-hmm.
Try that again. What about now?
Yeah, we see the slideshow. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, the cluster advisory report. But it was a while
Oh, go
ago,
down.
so you might need to remind me of some of the things. No, you were in the right spot. That we're going for our second renewal of the charter system. Was that correct, Dr. Edwards?
That is correct.
Yep. And so they're hopeful everything's going to go as planned. And then talking about the upcoming budget, of course, which is what we're getting into. Yeah, okay, I have my notes. It talked about the charter system renewal. It's our second one, and it happened on December 3rd, I guess. They submitted the application. And that the biggest focus of our meeting was the attendance, and that where all clusters are working on improving their attendance throughout the area. I noticed our school, when we talked about it, was the lowest with the attendance, but you have done a great job of getting that up there and already improving it so much. So that's awesome. And that chronic absences does include like excused and unexcused. So like even like sicknesses and stuff are included in those attendance things, which was something I don't think I knew prior to that. Was there anything else to add on that?
Yeah, that was the big thing that we got done. And really talking about the the facility master plan, the APS move forward for 2040, and all those things that came out of the what was that the December
Facilities.
3rd board meeting.
Yeah.
And so just kind of stay in the know and really listen and read for yourself. We have one thing that we cannot control. We can't control the media outlets and how they say certain things. Just make sure that you're listening and reading, from APS itself.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that's
then
essentially what we talked about.
I don't think anything has really changed on the long range facilities plans either. That went to vote at the last board meeting.
I think one thing that kind of stood out to me was that potential for redistricting.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the first drafts, I heard, if you look at the cluster, it may be some movement inside of the cluster. I don't know if they're going to hold strong to that going forward. It didn't seem as tight as it was before. So that's something that to kind of look out and listen for.
Sounds good.
Well, that's about it.
All right then. Does anyone else have any announcements? If not, then we have reached the end of our meeting. If there is no additional business at this time, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I second.
Second.
Excellent. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
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 All right. All were in favor, so our meeting is adjourned at 6:19 p.m. Thank you all.
Have a great evening, everybody.
you.
Thanks for your hard
Thank
work.
you.
Take care. Thank you.